O gods, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. O ye adorable ones, may we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we sing praises to ye and enjoy with strong limbs and body the life allotted to us by the gods. Om, peace, peace, peace. When we don't accept the undesired events in our lives, life itself turns into resentment and anger. When we don't accept the undesired events in our lives, life itself turns into resentment and anger. When we accept life as it is, life turns into a gift. Life turns into an uninterrupted flow of gratitude. Thomas Merton says, we thank him less by words than by the serene happiness of silent acceptance. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. It's great to see you again. It's been a while. We are honoring Mother Durga. We've been honoring Mother Durga the last few days, and today is the last day where Mother is going to be immersed back to the waters. Like every year, we invoke Mother, we superimpose Mother from us to the symbol that is to be worshipped, and now it's coming back to the worshipper. This is happening today in India, and in every place where Mother is being worshipped. In our case, we'll do it tomorrow, Santa Barbara. No, it's actually happening today. Yeah, of course I couldn't be there. Well, accepting life as it is. Does it ring the bell? Does it sound familiar to you? What happens to us in our lives is sometimes we are unable to accept the reality. Acceptance is one of the most fundamental secrets of life. Fundamental secrets. There is an unlimited power in acceptance. Life perfection abides in the acceptance of taking life as it is, imperfectly perfect. Life perfection relies upon accepting its imperfection. You follow? Life perfection expresses itself once we accept and confront our need, our intrinsic need for it to be so-called perfect. That cannot be happening to me. Why, God, this is happening to me? Life's perfection relies upon the fact of acceptance. Acceptance of the facts of life. Is it clear? Can't do anything. Where there is good, there is bad. Where there is light, there is darkness. Where there is joy, there is sorrow. That's it. You accept it? Can you accept it? Because there is no other way. That beautiful heaven that we want to believe in doesn't exist. This is heaven itself. It can only turn into a heaven when we are able to accept life as it is. Life is a journey marked by both triumphs and setbacks, joys and sorrows. to navigate the waters of life with grace and resilience requires a profound acceptance of life as it is. By this acceptance is far from resignation. It's a liberating force that empowers us to embrace the beauty of the imperfect and find meaning even in the midst of adversity. But this acceptance is far from resignation. We know very little. We don't accept, and we can't really see the whole picture yet. We tend to pass judgment over the unfortunate events of our lives. The question is, what do we know? Why do we judge? Life is neither good or bad. Life is what it is. As beautiful as it is truly a gift. We have to stop judging it by, painting life with our colors, good and bad. Life's journey is filled with unexpected twists and turns, often defying our plans and expectations. It's not about our good or bad luck. Sometimes we'll blame it on the word luck. Acceptance is not about removing negativity, but the capacity, the ability to embrace the challenges of life as it is. Life is just a bag filled with challenges. And when there is a challenge, we need to accept it. Unfortunately, we don't have any choice. We are here to fight. We are here to confront all these challenges. Recently, I was faced, I'm still facing a huge challenge in my life. I'm a monk. I've been a monk for 23 years. Yet, I'm a human being. As you can see, I'm in this body. I was born out of a mother. I also have a father. That means I have my family, which I don't get to see very often. But we have, a strong relationship. And even though we don't see each other, there is lots of love flowing from a distance. Mother and father, sisters and nieces. I was recently surprised and shocked, I have to tell you, by this event that happened in the month of July, when my niece had a stroke. A 36-year-old girl had a hemorrhage stroke and ended up in the hospital in a coma for more than 20 days. And I just couldn't believe it. She was fighting for her life. I had to hear from the doctor himself saying that I thought she was dead. The surgeon. She's alive. She's fighting to get better and to recover. And when that happened, I was like, oh ma, I never thought this could happen. It really, truly took me by surprise. The very first thing people who know me told me, it's like, Swami, what a test. Not just one person. A few people told me, what a test, Swami. And I was like, no, I mean, I'm shocked, but a test of what? Test? Test of what? Faith? Is this about faith? Really? I don't really feel that it affected my faith. Quite the opposite. I was holding on to God with nails and teeth, trying to get the strength to help these circumstances and this situation. Help the family that I don't get to see because naturally I'm a monk. But I was like, that made me think, can these circumstances of life, sudden strokes in life, can really affect your faith? Is it a matter of faith or is it a matter of acceptance? Was there anything I could have done or anybody could have done? It even took her by surprise. So that made me think about this topic, accepting life as it is. As you can say, well, I'm sorry, Swami, to hear all that. That's really sad. It's really bad, right? What do we know? Is it really bad? Or is it just another experience that a soul needs to go through and learn more about herself or himself? And even those that, the loved ones that are around her in this particular case. How do we confront this? Now I tell you something. There is no other way. Either you start crying or complain and poor me, the victim. Sometimes we like that. We like to play the role of a victim. But no, my dear friends, we are fighters. We have to fight. We are here to fight. And we have to move on and get the strength from within by relating to God. Unfortunately, things will follow His will, or her will in the case of mother. One of the fundamental challenges we face is our tendency to cling to idealized versions of reality. That will never happen to me. In the face of such unpredictability, accepting life as it is becomes not just a choice, but a necessity for a fulfilling existence. The pursuit of control is a common human desire. We strive to plan, organize, and anticipate everything. However, life's inherent uncertainty often shatters our carefully constructed illusions. I don't mean to put before you a drama. We have enough, right? But let's think about it. We don't want to be surprised. We just need to be strong. When faced with disappointments, setbacks, and unforeseen challenges, it's natural to feel frustrated and resist the change. Acceptance, on the other hand, doesn't mean resignation or passivity. It involves acknowledging the reality of a situation without succumbing to self-pity and despair. By accepting life as it is, we free ourselves from the burden of negative emotions that can hinder our progress. And we must recognize its possibilities that come to us in the present moment and embrace them with courage, faith, and hope. Acceptance, again, does not mean that we passively endure suffering. Rather, it empowers us to take action. Take action and seek solutions. What is in my power? What can I do? We can focus on finding solutions, adapting to these new circumstances, and learn from these valuable lessons, because we have no choice. Life is a struggle, and accepting all these challenges, we have to succeed. We have to keep living, because it's worth it. In doing so, we develop strength and resilience. And when we do that, when we accept life as it is, we get a deeper appreciation for the simple joys in life. Unexpected encounters, opportunities, and experiences can lead to profound personal growth and fulfillment. It's a matter of choice. Gratitude helps us to focus on what we need, what we have, rather than dwelling on what we lack. When we appreciate the good things in our lives, regardless of the challenges, we cultivate a positive mindset. A positive mindset that can improve with our overall well-being. A positive mindset. By embracing the present moment and appreciating the small things, we can find joy and fulfillment, even in the midst of adversity. How do we do this? That sounds great, right? Yes. Accepting what life presents to you at every moment, even that which you don't like and you don't desire for yourself and for your loved ones. How do we cope with this? What is the way? Thank God we have God. At least we can relate to something higher than us. At least we can surrender, if I may use that word, to the Almighty and accept His will. A journey of 3,000 miles begins with one single step. Try to reshape a thing, and you will deface it. Spoil it. Try to control it, and you will lose it. The wise, accepting things as they are, deface or spoils nothing. Lao Tzu. There is this concept of total acceptance. Have you ever heard about it? Embraced by many philosophies and spiritual traditions, which entails that embracing all aspects of oneself and the world without judgment and resistance. Embracing all aspects of oneself and the world without judgment and resistance. What do? The opposite. I don't know why we love that. We try. When it comes to this concept of total acceptance, there are a few areas that we need to cover. I don't have the time. I'm super late, but maybe some other Saturday I can continue with some other aspects of it. We can talk about acceptance of oneself, acceptance of others with their limitations and greatness, acceptance of life as a challenge, life challenges, and at last, acceptance of what we call God, the engineer, the mastermind. Who is behind all these? I look forward to meet him. Maybe he's all around us. Who is responsible for all these laws we cannot control? To that, we must relate. That is the only way to find what we call peace. And that's all we want in life. Did you know that? All you want is peace. You don't want the brand new car or the latest iPhone or the brand new apartment or house or a beautiful wife or husband. You want peace. If you have peace, you have it all. See, observe and value that. Because we don't need much, truly. Let's deal with this life as a challenge. I told you already about the test of life. I don't think it's a matter of faith. Because when things come to you, there is nothing you can do. Either you accept and fight, or give up and die. The Creator, what we call God, in Sanskrit we call him Ishvara, is another fact of life. Whether we see him or not, you cannot deny him. Who is behind this microphone? An engineer. Somebody put all these parts together. Connected it with this invisible electricity or power, and it can amplify my voice. Who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for life and its rules and its laws? Suppose we suddenly get infected by a disease, a virus or something, anything. What happens? Our emotional energy gets resented. Why these things have happened to me? I can't go out with my friends now. I have to stay home, in bed, Mm? But if we act with this positive mindset, mm, we can accept that we had no control over it. And all we can do is get hold of the means to get better as soon as possible. We may think, when we stay passive, that we are letting ourselves be victimized and traumatized. Mm? Such emotions are characteristics of a weak mind. A victim. Such emotions are characteristics of a mind who dwells in ignorance. You may say, well, Swami, they're being too hard. Sometimes I feel like that. That's okay. But Vedanta doesn't compromise the truth, you know. Vedanta says that our main problem is our ignorance of who we are, and our ignorance of our relationship with the reality of the world or life. Mm. So with grace, we accept what we cannot change. With grace and with grit. With grit, we strive to change what we can, get better. With such a spiritual grace and grit, we can free our emotional energy to face the situation better and go through that situation to a better place. Emotionally, morally, in every sense. There is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18, verse number 62. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat paraham shantim sthanam prapyasi shashwatam. Prapyasi shashwatam. Which means surrender. It deals with acceptance. Surrender to Him. Sharanam Gaccha. Surrender to Him. Alone. But with your whole heart. Not just a little bit. Your whole heart. By His grace, and here's the point, you will gain absolute peace. Absolute peace. That is the eternal abode. And that absolute peace is within us. We are here to play certain roles in life. We were given an amazing gift of being able to enjoy the beauty of life, to witness. We should stop for a moment and value and be grateful for this wonderful, wonderful experience and gift. We are so, so rich. Even though we have a little bit of back pain or, things are not perfect, yet it's perfect. You are in charge of your life, unfortunately, to an extent, not totally. If you think that you are totally in charge of your life, that is too much. Unfortunately, we are not. We have some power, our willpower to make decisions and choices. But there are certain aspects of life we have no control, and we can't be in charge. So we need to accept them. Everything I was just telling you, this gift is given to us. This body is given to us. This mind, these senses through which we experience the world was given to us as a vehicle to experience life. Even the eye sense in our body that we all experience, the eye sense complex, is also given to us. What can we do? We are just a witness of our existence. Where did it come from? If we follow our thoughts, we become our thoughts. We follow our minds. Naturally, we'll go by whatever happens in our minds if we follow it. If we feel like giving up, guess what's going to happen? You will give up. If you feel like doing something, you will do something. There is no what we call viveka or discrimination unless we can step aside and see that we have only jurisdiction, only over actions, but not over the results. Have you ever heard of the law of karma? I'm not trying to justify all this just by simply the law of karma, but I have to bring it up. Karma and dharma. They are very, very related to each other, these two words. Dharma produces what we call punyam, goodness. And also its opposite if you don't follow it, papam. This is very well connected to the law of karma, which is centered in our free will, our capacity to make these correct actions or wrong actions. When we do things unselfishly, when we consider myself and others and everybody, that is dharmic, that is right. But when I think only about myself, I contract, become very selfish fellow. That is not dharma. We do it though. According to our Indian scriptures, our sages, they talk about the so-called prarabdha karma. Do you know what prarabdha karma is? Let's talk about it. Just to remind you a little bit, this goodness and wrong create what we call karma. And it's divided into three types of karma: samchita karma, prarabdha karma, and agami karma. Prarabdha karma is the fructified karma. It's already the released arrow. And that's us here. We are already in these bodies, in these lives, and we are experiencing sometimes all these challenges and certain things we can foresee, other things we cannot. And we are only responsible for this karma. This is called prarabdha karma. Samchita karma is the accumulated karma from previous lives. It may not have been released in this very life, but it's stored somewhere. We put it this way, we really don't know. We can infer this from our scriptures. That's what the scriptures say, and the teachers. That there is some karma that is hanging in there, waiting to be released. And there is another karma, there is the karma that we create in our daily life by our actions, thoughts, and words. It's samchita karma. This cycle, this sanchita karma of this prarabdha karma, the karma that we create in our daily life, can be exhausted in this very life or gets stored for our next life. And this is what keeps the ignorant man coming back to a new body, coming back to a new life, a new dream. You cling to some kind of like and dislike that is centered or attached to an action made by you in your previous life. What are the benefits of accepting? What are the benefits of assimilating the law of karma? Because whether we believe it or not, there must be an explanation for all this. And honestly, I couldn't find a better explanation than the law of karma. I think it's perfect. I choose to trust and believe in these teachings coming from the sages and the scriptures. It's my choice because it makes sense to me. I can even say that I experienced in my own life some kind of karma, sanchita karma in this life. I had to pay for what I did. You're gonna get the feeling. Oh, that must be for what I did when I was younger, in this particular case. What are the benefits of accepting this law of karma? That it explains the disparities in everyone's life experiences. It explains the disparities. That it allows healthy acceptance for all the sorrows we experience. I remember when the September 11th happened, I was right next to my teacher, Swami, Guru, as we call it. And we were all devastated by what we were seeing, on the screen. And he was almost in tears. I was also shocked, but he said something that really struck me. He said, well, the Hindus call it karma. We really don't know, but it can help us explaining or accept these so-called sorrows of life. Also, it helps us keep our faith in God, because all these laws are coming from Him. He is responsible for all these laws, dharma and karma. So we can stick to Him. It keep our faith intact. We have no choice. And also we can take responsibility for our future, because the future is made by the present moment, by your present choices. It helps us take responsibility for our future. It gives us confidence in living an ethical life. With your whole heart, we need to surrender. Krishna says to the so-called Lord, to me, he says, with your whole heart, not just partially. You must accept the Lord as the one who is in charge with your whole heart. If you do, you will experience an amazing peace. That's what you see and observe or witness when you see a holy man. Peaceful. Even when bad things happen, always peaceful. We start getting this relative, so-called shanti, or peace, when we start connecting or making connections with the Lord, with that totality, I like to call it. In time, our heart expands, and we can experience our own nature, our own swarupa, ananda, the bliss coming from within, which is absolute. And that is the state of moksha, or liberation, total contentment, total bliss. That's our goal. We have to start somewhere. Because He exists, we exist. The world and everything belongs to one single being, that totality we call God. In my life, I've been, humbly speaking, experiencing this. My duty is to practice and turn this into a reality. Yet, sometimes we say, well, if God is everywhere, if I relate to God in my prayers, in my meditation, in the practice of mindfulness, right? What is the need then of, prayer, I guess? Well, we are wrong. In this world, there is a fight, good and bad, and there is a need for protection. You might have noticed that when we sing these Shanti mantras, or these prayers at the beginning of every talk or at the end we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May there be peace at 3 different levels. And this is required. We have to remember this always. We have to invoke peace around us. These 3 utterances deal with the removal of obstacles in 3 realms: the physical, adibautika. These are obstacles coming from the external world. Natural calamities, for example, what just happened in Florida. You may say, well, we couldn't help it, it already happened. Yes. But by invoking this kind of peace, you help the universe, you help the collective mind to remove that from that area, to keep it away. There's another obstacle that is coming from another source of obstacle from the extrasensory world, or spirits, ghosts. You may say, well, Swami, you went from acceptance to all these metaphysical stuff. What is the purpose? Well, because this is true. Because even though I accept what comes to me as a gift, and I accept the challenges, I still need to pray to remove obstacles, just to make sure that I'm doing my best to do what is right, that I stay alert in every way to move forward. And of course, the last shanti is to remove our own obstacles arising from my body, such as bad health, diseases, laziness, procrastination. Come on, get up, start doing. So, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What do you think? Accepting life as it is. When you think about it, it should give you some kind of peace. You should experience some kind of peace. Because life happens, and sometimes it's not what we want, but unfortunately what we deserve, what we chose to experience. So we need to gain the strength by relating to something higher than us. That is the principle and the reality, the ultimate reality of what we call God. I love Thomas Merton, and he says, we thank him less by words than by the serene happiness of silent acceptance. We thank him less by words than by the serene happiness of silent acceptance. Silent acceptance. It is our emptiness in the presence of His reality, our silence in the presence of His infinitely rich silence, our joy in the bosom of the serene darkness in which His light holds us absorbed. It is all this that praises him. Thank you.
Any questions? Just wait for the microphone.
Hi, thank you. We were talking about 9/11 and your teachers saying that the Hindus call it karma. I guess I was just wondering for a greater explanation of what that means in that scenario.
Well, in this world, in this drama, we create our own destiny, individual and collective. Even though you might not like wars, wars happen. So there is nothing we can do about it. It's been happening throughout the history of life. And it might continue to happen unless we become aware of our true nature and spread that awareness to others. That is the beauty of Vedanta, that proposes and demands that we understand who we truly are, and understand the laws of nature, so that instead of hurting ourselves and others, we do the opposite. Yet when you think about it, it's kind of like an ideal, but we can't give up. In time, we are all supposed to reach that sanctity, that state of mind, perfect state of mind. Anybody else?
I just have a comment, and then maybe you could comment on my comment.
Sure.
But as a layperson, I'm under the impression that you swamis and you monks go about life in perfect serenity all the time without any struggle, no matter what happens.
Well, we try. I certainly try. Sometimes it's hard. As I shared with you before, sometimes you are surprised, and one of the things I personally sometimes experience is that because I play the role, I'm supposed to play the role of somebody who has already mastered that, I just don't want to lose or miss my spontaneity. If I feel like crying, you're gonna see me crying. And if I feel hurt or shocked, I don't want to pretend that that is not happening. So the answer to your comment, I guess, is that we kind of have to let ourselves be free and express ourselves as things happen, and with discernment and certainly with responsibility. Meaning you can't really pretend that because I'm wearing these robes, I've already mastered that. I wouldn't be, I wouldn't, that's something, that's my idea, that's my goal. We are monks in the making. Monks in the making. In the past, a monk or sannyasi was somebody who had already realized. And I believe that we have different degrees of understandings about the fantasies and the experiences of life, or life experiences. And, but, sometimes life surprises you, and you're gonna have to be ready for that. One of the things that I experienced personally is that people were like, well, but you are a Swami, you're not supposed to, I don't know, be too worried about it or be concerned. or why do you suffer? Well, wait a minute. Like, I even had a conversation with my own guru, my own Swami, who was actually trying to, I guess it was kind of a test, when he was asking me that. And well, because it's my choice. It's my choice to open my heart and suffer, and experience whatever it feels right at that particular moment. I know there is nothing I can do. I know that the only solution is acceptance. Uh, but if you don't allow yourself to be a human being and let those emotions go out and be, um, I believe, humbly speaking, that you might be in trouble later on, because those accumulated and unexpressed emotions will come out somehow. Mm. So it's hard to judge, who is already there. I certainly, but judging by my emotions and how I feel sometimes, with these calamities of life, September 11, or this killing that is happening, all these kids dying, it's just horrible. Um, I, I, I feel affected. I mean, I care. I pray for the end of it. You know, um, so I think we are on our way, all of us. There are different degrees of commitment. My being a monk demands a deeper and greater commitment to practice and try to overcome all these limitations. Certainly, because otherwise there is nothing but suffering. Mm. But it's an idea, we can't, as sometimes we are labeled like that. Well, we understand or we play also roles. Mm? Roles. I play the role of a symbol. Mm? And I'm okay with that. I mean, but because it allows me to do what I do, what I love the most. Mm? But we all experience life and these ups and downs, and in time and with practice, you gain more strength and experience, and you overcome these things um, in a more natural way. You don't suffer much. Life happens. Mm. But that takes a lot of commitment. Did I answer your question?
I grew up at the beach and was a surfer.
Uh-huh.
And so peace is just not attractive to a surfer. It's ananda. I want to know, can I chase ananda first and then put peace on the kind of back burner?
Well, I think you are playing with words. Peace and ananda are exactly the same. Um, there are different degrees of peace, in the sense of more lasting kind of peace, but the peace that depends on something else, that it's limited, it certainly will have a beginning and an end. The ananda that you're looking, what we are all looking for, it's uninterrupted and depends on nothing but our own nature. I can relate to your experience of being a surfer. I never surfed, but I did do windsurfing, and I know how it feels. Oh boy. I know the feeling. And I certainly can understand that there is another happiness that is constant, uninterrupted, and is the feeling of not wanting and not needing anything. Extreme sports, sometimes you get a touch, a kick of that. Or sometimes an extreme passion, a passion like a painter or a singer, they go into some kind of trance where they just lose themselves. And that's where you can see true and real art. And you feel it. It goes beyond the saying, oh, he's a great singer. Oh my God, it's just beyond words. It's amazing. Outstanding. It leaves you in awe, you know. That's our own nature. We can work on that, certainly. And but it's interesting that we do that by walking this life, in this everyday life. You know, it's a very interesting, riddle. Mm.
You just, you do closing chant, so. I'd like to thank Swami Dhyanayogananda. He's our resident Swami in Trabuco. And how many went to the 4th of July this last, have you guys been, anybody's been to Trabuco besides? So, it's got a
Yes.
beautiful monastery. Is it 40 acres or 200 acres?
Well, it used to be 300 acres for
300
me.
acres,
Yeah,
yeah.
unfortunately, we donated 160, 200. Yeah, we were left with only 40 something acres, 43, I think.
Beautiful monastery, very classic traditional monastery, and the shrine is in the shape of a dome. It really seals off the sound there, so it's very, you really get a feeling of the stillness. It's an actual feeling presence of stillness. So if you haven't visited, you should go if you can. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Swamiji.
most of you went there, visited this monastery. Thank you for your letter. I did get the letter. Beautiful. I couldn't reply.
So next week we'll have Swami Sarvadevananji. He's our senior Swami, and head of our Vedanta Society in California. It's actually going to be, he's actually born in Lakshmi Puja. So we are going to be celebrating his birthday next week. So we're going to have a potluck. So if you're coming, please bring any item you like. It's vegetarian potluck, so bring something you like. If there's anybody that'd like to volunteer to bring a cake, let me know. We're going to celebrate his birthday. I think it's his 82nd birthday.
82.
No, yeah, 82. 82nd birthday. So we welcome all of you to come enjoy that experience. I guess Swami to close off with the chant.
Sure.
And afterwards, you can meet Swami in the backyard. There'll be some snacks as well.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that outer world is Purna, full of divine consciousness. This inner world is also Purna, full of divine consciousness. From Purna comes Purna. From the fullness of divine consciousness, the world is manifested. Taking Purna from Purna, Purna indeed remains, because divine consciousness is non-dual and infinite. Om, peace, peace, peace. Thank you.